Ethic and standards violations and the importance of accreditation in the forensic science laboratory. Accreditation in forensic science is incredibly important. Forensic science laboratories that obtain and maintain accreditation are able to ensure confidence within the forensics field and within the public's eye. Judicial systems and consumers have little to no reason to assume that the results that the accredited organization produces are unreliable or inaccurate. Accreditation helps to ensure and regulate that results are being concluded using high quality and formal standard procedures. Quality assurance and quality control. According to the National Institute of Health in the Quality Management in Forensic Science textbook, quality control is defined as the measures that are taken to ensure that the product meets a specific standard of quality. Quality control ensures that the testing units are accurate and system errors are detected and solved. An example of adequate quality control is the testing of field samples and reagents used in the analysis process of evidence. Quality assurance are measures that are taken by the laboratory to monitor, verify, and document its performance. Regular testing and auditing of operations are part of quality assurance. Broad measures are taken to ensure laboratory materials are being handled, transported, and preserved throughout the entire examination process. Quality assurance is essentially a check on the quality control, and the two work hand in hand to meet quality management standard recommendations. Quality control and quality assurance are vital aspects of the forensic laboratory. If QA and QC are not maintained, the laboratory would likely be full of incorrect and contaminated data. This lack of quality could lead to miscarriages in the judicial system and convictions without sufficient or reliable evidence. Laboratories lacking in quality control and quality assurance could discredit the results scientists working for them achieve, and cases could end up being dismissed. The District of Columbia Department of Forensic Sciences, or the DFS. According to the dfs.dc.gov website, the District of Columbia Department of Forensic Science of the DFS is a $220 million facility that was built in 2012. They started independently working on October 1st, 2012. This independent agency is located in Washington, D.C. and provides DNA, firearm testing, and fingerprint testing to various law enforcement agencies in the D.C. metro area. In October of 2013, the DFS received accreditation from the American National Standards Institute, also known as the ANSI, and the ANSI National Accreditation Board. The District of Columbia Department of Forensic Science accreditation has been suspended twice since 2013, once in 2015 and once in 2021. In 2015, the ANAB suspended the DNA testing within the laboratory's forensic biology unit due to nonconformities. And in 2021, the ANAB cited that they had credible evidence that the laboratory had concealed information which violated accreditation requirements, and that they were engaging in fraudulent behavior that misrepresented the lab. The audit process. The ODCA, or the Office of the District of Columbia Auditor, conducted an audit of the DFS to assess its compliance within the law. The ODCA conducted interviews of current and former officials and representatives of the agency, as well as the Chief of Police, stakeholder counsel, and public defenders. They also reviewed DFS procedures, processes, and policies. Specifically, the process for handling complaints of negligence, misconduct, and other testing errors. In order to compare data, the ODCA researched 4 other independent forensic laboratories to see how their organizations handled misinformation. ISO/IEC 17025 and 17020 and the Quality Management Standards. According to Doyle in the Quality Management in Forensic Science textbook, ISO/IEC 17025 is an international quality management standard that enables laboratories to demonstrate that they are competently generating valid, consistent results, which in turn allows for confidence in their work. This standard covers testing performed using standard and non-standard methods, as well as independent laboratory-developed methods. During the audit process of the District of Columbia Department of Forensic Science, there was a lack of standards when it came to testing errors in the way that misinformation was handled. Part of the ISO/IEC 17025 standard is also that the stakeholder meets the methods or procedures designed by the accreditation team, which the DFS failed to do. The ISO/IEC 17020 International Quality Management Standard is the conformity of requirements for operation that provides competence in performing inspections. During the DFS audit, the ODCA found that there was no direct oversight for the organization. Audit results. According to the ODCA article, the ODCA found that the stakeholder council assigned to ensure the DFS was following policy did not ensure that they were meeting the meeting requirements. They also found that the DFS was not requiring resources and staff commensurate within their independent laboratory. The ODCA also found that the DFS was not effectively managing its relationships and processes with customers and was not complying with regulations, policies, or procedures or formal quality standards. There were quality control issues within the firearm examinations unit that could have been prevented had the DFS promoted quality assurance. According to the Audit of DC Forensics Lab article, in 2019, the U.S. Department of Justice asked DFS to hand over documents involving firearm evidence policies. The DFS was found to have falsely certified evidence analysis records as being peer-reviewed by a colleague, which was in their policy. Management at the DFS did not follow a standard procedure to handle allegations and misconduct, including testing errors. 60 cases that were being prosecuted in the DC Superior Court were reviewed, and discrepancies in information were found in 12 of these cases. Out of the 12 cases, 6 of them had contradicting conclusions by forensic scientists to the evidence which was used in the court of law. Overall, there was evidence of a lack of oversight within the laboratory, which led to a lack of trust of the forensic evidence within the public and the ultimate loss of accreditation in May of 2021. In 2023, more than 2 years after the DFS lost their original accreditation, the DFS regained partial accreditation back. They followed recommendations laid out by the ODCA. However, their firearms unit, which had the most discrepancies, remains non-accredited and not operational at this time. The accreditation recertification process. According to the ANAB and ANSI National Accreditation Board, reaccreditation is similar to initial accreditation but includes special steps to ensure policies are better managed and followed the second time around. The recertification process includes documentation review, assessment activities, corrective action, nonconformances to be closed, recommendations, and decisions on ongoing oversight. And there is my reference page.